Welcome to Sabbath Cafe Podcast. This is episode 118, Just an Ordinary Day. Hi everyone, this is Michelle and welcome to the Sabbath Cafe. Most of the time we like to share our success stories, like when God answers our prayers or when life goes smoothly and we live happily ever after. Those times are great, but honestly, most of the time, life doesn't quite work out that way. Everyday life is messy. Most of the time, it's not so clear-cut. It's not really black and white, a lot of shades of gray. Oftentimes, I don't know if I'm hearing from God or it's just my own thoughts. But it's all really part of life. And as I found out this week, even when I don't get things quite right, God still make it a beautiful experience. And so this is what happened. One afternoon, I was out running errands. And as I was driving along, I just had this thought. Maybe I should take a left turn instead of a right turn that I normally do. And I just thought, gosh, taking a left turn would be kind of out of the way, wouldn't it? I was kind of in a hurry and I was thinking, why it doesn't really make sense. Maybe it's just my own thoughts coming in, my adventurous side chiming in. Sometimes that happens. And so I just decided to ignore that and I kept driving along. Sure enough, not a minute later, I came to a dead stop in this bumper-to-bumper traffic on the local street. And now it wasn't really traffic hours, so it was kind of weird why all of a sudden we're kind of stuck. And I can feel people getting annoyed. I can feel the cars behind me getting impatient. And thankfully, I, didn't have to get somewhere at a certain time. So I just kind of followed along and followed the traffic. About a couple of blocks down, we saw the problem. The traffic light was out on the next intersection. And because it was out, all the cars had to stop all four ways. And that's what started the backup. And that's when I realized, wow, if I had made a left turn back then, I would have completely avoided this. I could have just avoided it and gotten to where I was going. I even made a mental note to myself that on my way back, I should take the other route, the longer route, so I can just bypass this whole mess. What's interesting is, if I had taken that early turn earlier, I would have avoided all of this, and I would never have known that there was a problem on this route. I would have drove to my destination with no problem and thought to myself, man, that was kind of weird. Was that just my own idea? What was that all about? Because everything would have gone pretty smoothly. And it made me wonder just how often something like this have happened where God was helping me out and I had absolutely no idea. I tend to look for signs to see if God was involved in my life. When I have a normal day where nothing special happens, I used to feel like God was aloof and not interested. But this whole experience showed me that God really is speaking, has been speaking, and is reaching out to me, even when I'm running errands. But I'm the one who didn't see it. And I think God is also teaching me about how He interacts with me in real life. It's not a big deal to Him if I make a mistake. Everything really can be a learning opportunity, and His grace is big enough to turn my every mistake into a blessing. So no matter what kind of week you've had, I hope you also ask God to show you if He has any insights for you. He may turn your very ordinary day also into something extraordinary. And that's our podcast for this week. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful week and we'll chat next time.